Hi guys, can you hear us? All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, obviously, we didn't have an answer for Jesse Edwards tonight. I mean, he had a monster game. If you'd have told me coming in here that we'd hold Gerard to 6 for 18 from the field, Mintz 5 for 14, they'd only make 2 threes, I'd tell you that we probably had a great chance to win the game. But we just couldn't – we had no answer for Edwards around the basket and on the offensive glass. And he dominated the game around the basket. In the first half, I thought we came out aggressive offensively. We didn't make a lot of shots early, but the ball was moving. We were getting inside the defense. And right after I got the technical, it seemed like we just got real tentative. And we quit playing aggressively and we weren't fearless on offense. And it turned into turnovers, tentative. And then that turns into transition defense. It's just hard to guard them that way. And they got too many points in the first half, in my opinion, on that. I didn't think we struggled to really guard them in the half court. We had to quit turning it over, and we had to quit giving up offensive rebounds. We had 19 assists on 24 baskets. We did share the ball. I don't know. I thought the 5-man was open a lot in the zone over the top. We just either couldn't get it to him or he couldn't finish. They brought the 5 all the way up in there, which was good for us. And that's why we got some stuff in the second half at the basket. I thought we did a poor job of getting the 50-50 balls. There's a lot of those we just don't get. And that in a game like this, it just really hurts you. And so we'll go back and take the day off, and which we need, and we'll get ready to play Wednesday in the ACC tournament. Questions?
Steve, against that zone, is it more patience, ball movement, spacing? What is the biggest thing against that kind of hybrid zone?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's the zone. I think it's our defense. I mean, I'm not going to – everybody always wants to talk about the zone, and I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is Jesse Edwards getting 27 and 20. Honestly, John, when we turned it over, we just stood and we didn't get the ball in the middle of the court. Now, let's be honest with, we have to look at our personnel, what we have, and we don't have a lot of guys that are going to get in there off the bounce and be successful with it. And so we were trying to create those kind of things, with some sets to try to get it in the middle and then, play off the bounce with Cameron or Ty or one of those guys, or maybe Andrew that could make a play. We set some ball screens on it and got a couple backdoor lobs that were good for Bobby. Again, I think it's just being ball confident. I don't think our spacing was bad at all. I think it's just, knowing where to pass the ball, when to pass the ball, and just being confident doing it. I just don't think there was some time in there we just didn't play. We played very tentative.
Steve, you talked earlier this week about the oddity of playing your first game of the season against Syracuse in the last game of the season, and now all of a sudden you're playing them again. Yeah. Does that work to your advantage in a strange sort of way that you had this game and you can build off of this and kind of fix the things that didn't go well?
I mean, I think without question. I mean, we haven't played a team like this the entire year that guards like that, and then they're obviously they're big killers. So it gives us a chance to go home and get fix the things that we saw today, improve on some things, and get ready for a big game on Wednesday. So yeah, I do think that in this case, I do think it really helps us to play this game tonight and then have another one with them on Wednesday.
Steve, Mike Solarte here, Inspector News 1. Good to see you again, boss. You talked about the personnel and what you have. How do you kind of mold that and get them ready for Wednesday? You've had a couple of games without Damari, and so now you kind of know what you have, but how do you get them ready to go?
I think we got to do a better job defending the post, and that's something that, is going to be inherent upon, Matthew and Andrew and Zach came in and gave us some good minutes there, late. I think that's a big issue right now. I thought the guards did a good job of defending Gerard and Mintz. They made some shots, but they were 6 for 18, 5 for 14. And then we have to be tougher on the glass, Mike. I mean, think about it. We made them miss 16 times. They got the rebound. And then there was 14 times or 16 times that we didn't get a shot up because we turned it over. 14 of those in the first half. And so you got to clean those things up. And then I think you just go back and look at the scheme on offense and say, okay, what worked, what didn't, what can we add? And then step up and, execute better with more ball confidence.
The guys that you're taking into Greensboro now, knowing the injuries that you have and the guys you're missing, how confident are you that this group is going to be able to pick that up and turn it around quickly?
I mean, I'm very confident, Mike. We had 2 really good days of practice before we came up here. I mean, those guys have been wonderful to coach. It's not their fault. They're playing hard. They're trying. I got to do a better job of putting them in position to win. And that's what we'll do as a staff on tomorrow and Monday, Tuesday, and then hopefully have a nice crowd in there in Greensboro at noon, I think, on Wednesday, and play. And our plan is to play on Wednesday, play on Thursday, play on Friday, play on Saturday. And, we can beat anybody in the league. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We just got to go do it.
Steve, did you see enough of Zach and a long enough stretch today to know that you can turn to him probably Wednesday and get some good minutes out of him again against Syracuse? Because if you have someone at the 5 that can stretch the floor, that's got to be something that you'd like to have in that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Zach gives us some intensity on defense. I mean, I thought he did a good job of getting up against the ball screen and then getting back to the big, which we were struggling to do. And then, but Jesse Edwards got some rebounds over him too. So we've got to get Jesse Edwards, out and away from the basket and box him out. We had some other issues tonight with just young guys. We've been in the drop most of the year, but we couldn't go the drop on Gerard. We had to bring the big up, which we did a good job on. But then when the big rolls, you have to pull in. And 3 times, Bobby was in there in the gaucho, but he was too far out. And I think that's just a lot of that's experience. And gave them a couple easy baskets. So we can take a lot of things away of our own that we did on our own. The turnovers, the mental mistakes, the offensive rebounds. We cut all those things down, then we'll have a great chance to win the game.
Okay, thanks, Coach. That's all the questions we'll have.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, everyone.